Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be across this beautiful blue-green globe of ours. Welcome to Real News Live. I'm your host, Mike Barra in Las Vegas, Nevada, joined as I always am by the lovely lady with the lustrous hair from Hayden, Idaho, Jennifer Fallaw-Doring. Jen, how was your weekend besides me bugging you for all kinds of health issues over the weekend?
It was great other than that.
Yeah. She's like, why are you always calling? Now, I do think we ought to tell the story, the 555 story, at some point. I don't know if you've got that planned for your Jentel, but I think it's really cool. However, that was really cool on Friday. However, there was a football game yesterday, the Super Bowl, and the Chiefs beat the 49ers. I don't think there was anything untoward about it, but one thing I found really super amusing was Marshawn Lynch, beast mode, the Seahawks running back, was running around Las Vegas yesterday, asking people if they were 49ers fans, and you can't say anything about Beast except that he's a loyal Seahawks. So let's
fans? Yeah. Fuck you.
Let's watch what he was doing.
Fuck you, you little ugly motherfucker. You a Niner fan?
Yes, sir.
Fuck you. Are you a 49er fan?
Yes, I am.
Fuck you.
Hey, Marshawn. Go Bills.
Are you a 49er fan?
Absolutely.
Fuck you.
Again, we love this shit.
Are you a 49er fan? Fuck you.
All right, that
Are you a 49er fan?
Hell yeah.
Fuck you.
Marshawn Lynch walking around Las Vegas asking people if they were 49er fans and if they were, fuck you. I thought that was hilarious. He is a loyal Seahawk fan. We hate the 49ers. We're glad they lost, even if that means the Chiefs won. Marshawn is amusing. It's a guy thing, Jen. It's a guy thing.
Classy.
Classic guy thing. All right. The big thing I think that everybody's probably here for, probably interested in, is the story that we came out with. I put it out on Saturday. I had the information on Friday, and there's a little story behind that for when I told Jen. But let's go over the information. Let's go over the information just right now and talk about it. All right. Let's go back to what I posted on my Telegram room.
Yeah.
And by the way, you can find my Telegram chat. Where is it? I am Mike Barra 33 on Telegram, and there's a Mike Barra chat room you can go to. And Jen is Philosophy on Telegram, and there is a Philosophy chat on Telegram, or Jennifer Fallaw-Doring on Telegram. Philosophy chat is the chat, correct, Jen?
Yes.
Do I have that right? Okay. So
Philosophy chat, yes.
Let's go to the Telegram, and I'm going to give you the update that I posted. Update: exchanges are taking place at major banks with branch managers and wealth managers. Dinar, dong, and rupiah are being exchanged. Zim and Bolivar can only be exchanged at redemption centers. The rates on dinar, this is as of Friday, are $2.93, $2.21 on the Vietnamese dong. I did not get the rate on the rupiah. The person I was in contact with or aware of did not have any rupiah. The exchange has taken place as of Friday. 10% of the monies are spendable today. Currencies were set up in separate accounts. In other words, you have a separate account for a rupiah, for a dong, and for dinar. New debit card was issued for the new funds. There was no NDA. No NDA. The recipient was told to return in 72 hours, that's today, Monday, to finish the process. In other words, getting the other 90% of the funds available to them. This implies the rates will be public when Forex goes live. That was last night or shortly thereafter. It also implies funds released on Monday would be gold backed or could be gold backed. That is the update that I posted out there on Saturday. And I thought about sitting on this all weekend, but I thought, well, I'm going to put it out there and see what happens. Now, I had Tressie Tress from the Advocala people say that basically I'm correct. I think it got reposted by Wolverine. I'm not sure. I did talk to Mark about it. I don't know that Mark was able to confirm any of that. And I had other people talking about bonds being paid out. Now, these are not bond payouts. These are not Zimbabwe or Rupiah payouts. This was not done at a redemption center. This was done at a bank. And banks, redemption centers can be in banks, but not necessarily. Redemption centers can be off-site from banks with representatives from bankers available to them. So this is strictly someone who had previous contact with a bank branch, who knew the branch manager and the wealth manager. This was the information I told you, I believe, on Wednesday of last week. I believe we told you Wednesday that a person had been called in for Friday for an appointment, and the exchange rate was going to be 429 for the dinar. And those of you that listen to our show and know who Jennifer Falah-Doring is and her remote viewing capabilities, she got 429 a long time ago on the dong, actually, not the dinar, but 429 is 429. However, when she showed up, that was not the rate. The rate was 293. I suspect she was happy to take it. So I've had people say, well, this didn't happen. I've had all kinds of blowback. It's interesting, Jen, how when you give information out, you get all these new people that come in and try to shoot you down any way they can. It's an interesting psychological phenomenon. I first experienced it with my books, like on the Face on Mars. The more evidence we would compile that the Face on Mars was built artificially, the more people who claimed they were believers would attack us, me and Richard Hoagland. So it became kind of it's like people want to believe it's real until it becomes real. And then they have a very hard time dealing with the new reality. My belief at this point is this person exchanged and has their money available. And as far as I know, is spending it. Now, this person subsequently did a call with some other folks, with Militiaman and some other folks this weekend. That call leaked. What irritates me about that call, because some of these people are so dumb, is nobody pinned her down on anything. Nobody asked her, well, how much did that 10% amount to? Is that spendable? Yeah. Is it true that you got a debit card for the new accounts? And have you spent any of that money yet? By the way, if you saw the Zim and the Bolivar rates, what were they? My understanding is she did see them, but does not remember them. She was excited. I have pictures of her outside. I have a video of her outside the branch. May as well go say it's her now, because anybody who listened to the Militiaman video knows it's a her. Outside the branch, I know what state the branch was in, and she said, I'm going to go in now, and you guys will all be doing this very soon. And I have photographs of her currency sitting on the countertop, not the front counter with the tellers, but the actual exchange in the back office. So what she saw were what they call the back screens, where the real rates are, the rates that are soon to be. So here's what this is. This is a private exchange done at a bank by a banker who wanted to get the dinar and the dong. And like she said, they want your dinar. They want it very badly. So what the bank was willing to do is, ahead of the official revaluation, they apparently were willing to give almost $3 per dinar for her dinar. She took it. Are there higher rates available at the redemption centers? Yes. Are there probably higher rates on the back screens now? I don't know. We're going to ask Jen that. Is there a much higher rate available later? On Cox Cable a minute. Did I freeze there?
Okay.
Oh,
Everything. So for about 5 seconds there before, if you want to wait, was
Okay.
broken.
If so, what they did is they offered her almost $3 for her dinar. My understanding is she took it. 221 on the dong has been a speculated public rate for a long time. If I knew of a bank here in Las Vegas, and if there's anybody watching this show that is a branch manager in Las Vegas, I will take that. I will walk in today and give you that, as long as I can walk out with available cash. I also was told she was given $5,000 cash. Fiat cash. This is not gold back money. The speculation is they made her wait 72 hours to give her gold back money. I don't know that that's true. But the person who was on the phone call is the same person who did the exchange that I heard about and the information that I got. And I do believe it happened. And it's up to you to decide. I personally, I have to go to the bank later today anyway, to my bank. I'm not going to ask them because I don't believe they're part of the exchange. But I am going to drive around to some other banks and ask to talk to a branch manager. Don't bother with a teller. Don't bother calling on a phone. They're not going to know anything about it. They're going to deny it if they do know anything about it. It's not going to do you any good. So I had all this information and I'm sitting on it. And I decided to call Jen on Friday night because I just couldn't sit on it and not tell Jen, because Jen's my Jen. She's my Jen. So Jen, why don't you pick up the funny part about that story and then we'll go do your Jentel.
Okay, so before you sent me the audio, I think I listened to the audio on Saturday.
Yeah.
The audio came out on Saturday,
Mm-hmm.
but Mike had, private information about the text messages or messages that were exchanged about this going on through private sources, and we weren't going to share it with anybody. And then we find out it was leaked, and we were like, oh. Anyway, so of course he calls me like just when I get everything done, like on Friday evening, he calls me and I'm like, just when I get done with work, he always calls me. Anyway, so he tells me all this information.
But wait a minute. What about the part about the fives?
I'm getting there.
Okay.
Sit down and relax. All right. So he tells me this whole story. Okay. And I'm tuning into the story and I'm like, I'm getting really excited because I'm not picking up falsehoods. I'm picking up truth here. And I'm like, this feels like truth. This feels like truth. I go, so you want to know something else to add to this story? When I'm not paying attention, I'm too busy with life and I'm running around, working too much. And then the angel's trying to get a message to me. It's always been that they'll start showing me angel numbers, right? It's like code between your guardian angels and you. And 555, I've been seeing a lot for the last few days. And not, I'm not looking for it. Okay. It's kind of in your face. So I'm driving along. We're running errands. I'm out about on Friday and we're going to the grocery store and this car pulls in front of me. I'm thinking about this whole thing. I hadn't talked to him yet. This is before I talked to him. Thinking about the whole RV thing, thinking about all that. And then a car pulls in front of me, and the last 3 digits is 555. I'm like, okay, license plate, and I like to try to debunk things, I don't like jump right on every little sign. So they have to be really in your face about it with me. Then the next car I see, the license plate said, God, what did it say? It said F22 END, END. And I'm like, oh, that's odd. February 22nd end. Let's see, what if it started on the 12th? Would that be a 10-day window? That would be. And so I'm like, no, put pieces together. So I go to the store. Everywhere I look, it's like 555. Okay, and so I say, okay, Gabriel. Now, if positive change is coming about this, give me another 555 so that I will know. And so then we get the groceries, put them in the car, get home, everything. Didn't see a thing. And I screenshotted it, by the way, for the truth, so that you will know. But so Mike calls me. All right, I get everything done. I sit down. I'm like, oh, it's Friday, and I don't have to do anything right now. And then he calls me, and I'm like, okay, let's work. And I looked down. I wasn't going to answer it. And then I looked down, and what is the time? It's 5:55. I'm like, oh, Mike's calling me at 5:55, and I asked Gabriel for a sign this 5:50. So I answered the phone. I'm like, what happened? Tell me what happened. Tell me. Then he tells me the story, and I'm like, oh my goodness. Then, so we're off and running talking about that, okay? Then on Saturday, the audio comes out. He sent me the audio. I listened to it. Private thing. Wasn't going to say a word about it anywhere. And then somebody just leaked it, and it's going around Telegram. And so I'm like, well, I guess it's okay to talk about it now.
Yeah.
I didn't do it. I didn't leak anything. If you tell me not to say anything, I don't say anything. But I listened to the woman. I listened to every word she said. Now, she was a little nervous on the call. I'm not getting scam. I'm not getting lies. I mean, it was very detailed. Woman's, has a professional position in life. Educated. Not crazy. I was looking for crazy. I'm really trying to pick up on the crazy. Okay. Is she, is this woman running around town making things up? No. Then, and then he's also got the picture of her sitting at a desk with it on the desk. The only concern I have about that is that there's a keyboard in front of her and the computer is facing her. So unless the person was sitting next to her, it just seems as though the keyboard would be on the other side and the person would be sitting on the other side of the desk. But it was there. It was a picture of a desk. You could tell that it was bank. I think there was a Chase mouse pad there. Now, there are different, just like in the military, there's different levels of access to screens in the financial world, is what I was told. You've got, they put it out, you got the public rate. You go to buy currency, you're going to see what the dealers are putting it out for. They have a different rate. Okay? The thing that she did right is that she wasn't getting anywhere with all of this until she said, can I speak with the branch manager? Then she asked for a either private or personal banker. I think it's a private banker.
Right.
Now, we have seen this wave of wealth management. When everybody's broke, oh, perfect. Yeah, let's go. Do you think banks just do that because they think, oh, well, let's see what happens? Maybe people have wealth we don't know about. No. They're always ahead of the game. They know what's coming. So when you sit down with a private banker, they're not going to really do business with you unless they know that you're going to have a whole bunch of funds that they want to manage. And that's where they're going to make their money. So she asked the right questions. People behind the counter below a certain level of clearance who doesn't have the codes or whatever to access those back screens won't see this rate. She asked the right questions. She went in. She spoke with a personal or private banker. They could access the screen and saw the bank doing business with a bank level rates. Now, of course, Chase wants you to do business with them. They would love to pull in as much money as they can right now. Okay. And so she was treated like a queen. Now we're waiting to hear back. She was supposed to have an appointment on Monday, waiting to hear back if that is all finalized and everything is good to go. I think the 72 hour is because of if they're still working with the Federal Reserve or whatever, that amount of funds, it's going to take some time for verification, and the weekend's coming up and you've got Eastern time and you've got all this other stuff. So they probably say, okay, come back on Monday. We'll sit down, finalize everything. The word is that she was given an ATM card and they started an account.
3 accounts or 2 because she had dinar and dong.
So our question was in all of this, did she leave her currency there? Did she give it to them? Was it put on the screen? And were the numbers there? And did she have access to a certain amount? Like you go into the bank and they get a large check you're going to cash. They don't recognize, they'll cash it and they'll say, okay, you can have $200 of this until it clears. Right? Basically, I think she was waiting. The Monday appointment is to finalize everything, but they want to get her in there on Monday. It's probably not much she has to do, but they're going to say, oh, here you go. Here's your wealth manager. And we would like to take control and manage everything about your new money. So that's probably what they want to do on Monday. Today.
And the thing that worries me is that she's going to get spooked now because some dickweed leaked the actual audio, which should not have happened.
We don't have her real name.
Okay, good.
She took videos of herself and pictures and then put it out to somebody who does podcasts and everything else. So I don't think she's real worried about that. I don't really see how anybody could harm her. But I'm not going to be the one to put her stuff out there without permission when we're told to be quiet, But the only reason we're talking about it is because everybody else did.
Yep.
So it's on a roll there. And what was I talking about?
Oh, the debit card.
Okay. You don't give somebody a debit card unless you can use it. You don't give somebody a debit card unless you've started up an account. Now, so I think she left it there. I think she exchanged it. I don't think you don't start up accounts unless you gave them something to put in the account.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Even when you start a checking account, you want to put in, you got to put in like $100 or something. And because she said she had 3 accounts and a debit card, but was not on the video or the audio.
Audio, yeah.
You got that information from the original message that you
Right.
received, word,
right,
and that we were talking about before this.
Right,
audio
and
came out.
as I understand it, this subsequent phone call that was recorded and leaked by one of the dumb shits on the militiaman side of things was subsequent to that. They were following up.
Well, they needed to ask was, did you leave your currency there? And if she did, she exchanged. Because she would not let them even count it on the teller level. She went with the guy and said, oh, no, you're not. I will do, you'll count it and I'll watch you. So I say it happened. But I asked about it in Jentel today. You have to understand this is banking in the old system. It's going to go into, it's not gold back, it's fiat dollars. It's going to go into an account just like you would with anything else right now. So you can have a large amount of money in the old system. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
They would love to get you in there and not an exchange center. So it would just be up to you. Like if you want to be smart and just take a little bit, go in there and say, oh, well, either way. And if I lose it, something happens. I can get some things done right now if you're in dire straits. So, Jentel banner. I went into meditation today. You want to throw that up?
I'm looking for it.
Okay. Interdimensional Meditation by Jennifer Doring. I have to put my name on there. I didn't do that before, so now I'm doing that because people are sharing my notes. For February 12th, 2024. I had 6th Level of Heaven by My Tree. I went and talked to Archangel Michael and Gabriel. It's like stepping into a dream and having a conversation. I asked, is the story about the lady who went to Chase to exchange true? Michael and Gabriel both gave me information. We're talking. Yes, the transaction is complete. Yes. And money flowing. It happened. She did it. She's got money. And Michael said, the big day is Thursday. I'm like our big day? That would be cool. Rates are rising on the back screens. And the transition is underway. There's something about these levels of access to rates, different rates that will show up on different screens. You got the public, then you've got the bank access rates at this point in time. They can see it rising. And then when you go into the redemption center, you get it like a contract rate. It was already agreed upon. I think this is between countries. We're dealing with treasuries, things like that. I said, are there drawbacks to exchanging some early with a bank? Gabriel said uninsured deposits are or could be at risk. So same deal. When you didn't want to put a bunch of money in the bank right now and you're taking cash and you put it in your house, we're still at the same risk there. I don't think we're going to lose all our money, but the possibility is there. You're going to get fiat dollars. There's no NDA because you're doing business on a bank level with a bank. And they would love for you to run around and tell everybody that you got those rates from Chase. Go on in and do it too. And we will manage all your money. Okay? But it's not going to be in the QFS. He said uninsured deposits are or could be at risk at this point in time. Bank level exchanges do not go into the QFS treasury accounts as notes. So you're going to get fiat dollars. Eventually, when we go to gold, all the fiat dollars in the banks and all the accounts will turn into gold back. But what I got is that when you go to the exchange centers, and if you were going to do this kind of thing, I just take a little bit, take some. When you go to the exchange centers, that's when it's going to be a safer thing to do because unless the country goes under, it's going to be in a treasury account. You will contract with a large bank who can handle that kind of movement of money. And basically set you up a holding account, which is a large account that can hold a lot of funds. And that will be what you move your money from the treasury account into a bank so that you can move it around, buy houses, do whatever you want. They would love to manage that money. That's why the banks are contracting with the exchange centers. You're going to get a higher rate at the exchange centers because there's something about rates that were already agreed upon. They're watching the back screens. They're watching these rates rising. The bank rates on the bank level right now are watching the economy inside that country. And that's why those have risen. And this is accumulation of information that I've got over a while from asking the archangels. So if it's not right, whatever. So if they're watching the economy inside the country and this OFX or whatever screen that they have access to is showing rates like this, I'd put money on it. They're continuing to rise. Okay. I actually asked Gabriel, and I don't know what a point is, but I'm thinking he said something about half point or a point a day or something. So it's ticking up. It's ticking up. So if the economy inside the country is doing that, and the rates on this screen, the bank screens, are so high, Nasara Jasara has started. Now whether we can go in and do this right now, and whatever bank's going to do it, you got to talk to the right people. You got to ask for a private bank or a personal banker, whatever they call it, and you cannot just talk to somebody that works there or a loan officer or whatever, because they're not going to know. They don't have access to that screen. So you could, I guess, and I probably will, take a little bit and go in there. First thing I do is come home, pay everything off, buy a furnace, stuff like that. Get the kids' cars that don't break down every 2 weeks that I have to pay for. You could do that. I would not take it all. I would not do it all. Because, okay, we don't know what's coming. There's rumors of bank crashes and losing cash and everything else. And we've been spending a lot of time putting our money in places that are secure, putting it into gold and silver, keeping cash in the house, whatever we've been doing. Now you're going to take all of this and put it in a bank account that could possibly crash, go under, disappear. That's your risk. But that's what I got about this whole situation. This is completely a business transaction between you and a large bank. That is why there's no NDA. I do think that as people start doing this and word spreads, probably going to kick everything into gear. I asked, what was it? Then they called me on, what was it, Saturday too? He has like some kind of like sixth sense. It just knows when I'm done working and I've relaxed, and then ding, and the phone rings. So, I asked, so it was implied that today on Monday, because she was asked to come back on Monday, and that's not something I'm sure of, that the IQD would post to the Forex on Monday. And so I'm kind of a debunker, we come from the paranormal field and we debunk everything. So I was like, okay, so where exactly did it say, or did anybody say that she has to come back on Monday because it's going to post to the Forex on Monday? So I asked. Grain of salt. Okay, grain of salt. Personally involved here. I asked Gabriel, will the IQD go on to the Forex on Monday? He said it already has. And that was, he said yesterday or something. When did we talk? Was it Saturday?
It was, well, we talked on Friday and then again on Saturday. Yeah.
Okay. He said yesterday. That would have been Friday. That would have been, so if it, yesterday or today. Anyway, he said it's already on there. Okay, so what we were figuring out on the phone was, okay, so Iraq starts business on Sunday and it's Saturday for us. And so we would find out about it or about Monday. So that's what we're looking for today, to see if it posts to the IQD goes to the Forex today. And what I saw with trying to translate what I saw is that the minute that happens, the middle level bank screen on that OFX, whatever screen they have, like triples. Okay. And then, it goes up. So there's something about these redemption centers watching that, waiting for it to post so that it's up to a point where they can initiate this and they have the contract rate, which is already agreed upon, but everything has to be at a certain level for them to do that. So that's what I'm getting. And that's pretty much all I got right now. So exchanging through a designated redemption center or bank location or whatever, you want to sit down with exchange people who are going to be able to give you that rates. Not only give you that rates, but you're exchanging with the Treasury. Okay? And they're going to have those big rates that everybody talks about, and they're the ones that are going to be able to do the Zim and all of that. I think that at this point in time, there's this little window, and I don't know how big that is. Now, that license plate that said F22N, and I'm thinking, well, it doesn't mean when I die, does it? I mean, this is positive information you're sending me, right? And, you always go there. But I don't think so, because that's not what I was thinking about. I was thinking about this subject. Now, is that window when this window ends and the other RV kicks off? I don't know. Gabriel told me the big day is Thursday, so I don't know if that's when it goes to the IQD, or the IQD goes to the Forex, or that's when we get notifications.
Yeah.
He said the notifications will come out on the computer screens. So that's how we're going to know. Is this a phone call we make? Basically just a list of numbers where you can be put in contact with participating locations. It's going to be very similar, but you're going to get that QFS Treasury account. There's going to be gold back notes in there. So if, you're thinking, gosh, I keep thinking, like with me, I kept asking, how much, if you're thinking of a certain number and you're like, well, that seems low, like how many millions that is.
I'm so spiritual.
Sorry.
It might just be notes. Okay. And a long time ago, I asked, and I don't know if this is correct, but I'm starting to think so. How many fiat dollars would equal one U.S. gold-backed note? 27. Fiat dollars would equal one U.S. gold-backed note. 27. Okay. Want to pay attention? What are you doing?
I'm trying to get rid of somebody.
Oh, okay. February 22nd is Thursday. I was not aware of that.
Yeah.
I was not aware of that.
22nd is Thursday. That's perfect.
Is a Thursday.
Nancy, to answer this question, will I go live when it happens, or shall we watch your Telegram for updates? It depends. If I go to a redemption center and I sign an NDA, you will not hear from me again until the NDA is expired. Period. I'm doing nothing to risk this. I will.
I might have to do that and reschedule everything as well, because I don't want to risk anything. Now, this NDA, I don't know if they're going to tap everybody's phones and they're going to do all this stuff. I just don't see.
Sounds like they might be doing that.
Well, we're moving into more freedom. It's like, okay, so you would like to exchange. So how we're going to tap your phones in your entire life, and you better not say something wrong. And I'm like, this doesn't seem like freedom to me. But
no,
it may just be don't get online and don't share this information where it can be spread or something like that. I don't know. Don't post on Facebook about your rates or whatever.
Yeah.
Right. Phones are tapped already. I know. At least by Facebook. I mean, I can say something random, open up Facebook, and there's an ad for it.
Yeah. Okay, so we believe, let's say at this point, that we do believe she's exchanged. Correct?
I'm not getting anything that says that is a scam. I'm not getting anything that says that she is not telling the truth about her situation.
Right, which means she has money. Gabriel also explained to you that this is fiat money. It's a private exchange with a bank, and nothing is guaranteed. There is no safety. There could
He
be
said
failure.
uninsured deposits could be at risk. So in an average checking account, it's what FDIC.
FDIC is $250,000. So if you were smart, you would create several accounts and put $250,000 in each of them.
you could move it around so you don't lose that. But I mean, how long is it going to take them to actually give us that back?
Yeah.
But I don't know what larger accounts that can hold larger amounts of money. I don't know what they insure, how much they insure. I don't know if that's different because I've really never had one of those.
Right.
So I never really thought that we're going to lose all our money. That would be more of a tragedy.
Yeah, it would be devastating to the economy, among other things. So
It would be anarchy. People, I mean, it would be
yeah.
too hard for any kind of government or police force or military to control. Everybody lost money all at once. My God. So I don't think that would be a smart plan.
No.
I always saw like the screens going down, not being able to see what's going on in your accounts maybe for a day and then talk about the crash of the dollar or something, but then it comes back up.
But still, I would be cautious. And I, let's say I took, I don't know, a small amount of dinar, 250,000 and 1 million dong. And I drove around Las Vegas today to various large banks like Bank of America and Chase and Wells Fargo. And I asked to speak to branch managers and said, do you do foreign currency exchanges? Do you do the dinar and the dong? And if so, how much can you give me for them? If I were to do that, I would definitely spread it out into accounts that were fully insured. And then, as you said, Jen, I would go home and I would pay off everything I owed and take as much cash out as I could. So that's what I would do.
Yeah. I think the only thing she's waiting on is probably confirmation that yes, the bank has received the funds that they put in her account. Yes, we were going
Verified
to
them.
take this, the bank didn't charge her a fee. Why? Because they're making their money when they turn it in at a different rate, higher than the one they gave her. And
Right.
they want to manage your money. And that's where they want to make your money. So they're going to get her in there on Monday and get her all signed up and tied into wealth management with Chase Bank.
With Chase. Now, I had several people in telegrams. Oh, this is not happening. Yes, it is. And yes, it did happen. And we may not all be able to do it before Thursday, but it did happen. And banks are doing this. And then it was, well, why would a bank do that when they could just go, buy dinar at a currency exchange for far less? Because banks aren't legally allowed to do that. They are dealers. Right. They buy and they sell under the dealer's rates. And the only reason the bank would give you $2.93 for your dinar right now, even though technically the public rate is like 1,000 to 1, is because they know damn good and well in the next probably week or less, they're going to be able to trade that dinar in back to Iraq for far more. So that's where they're going to make their money on. We'll give you $3 for your dinar today, and we will trade it into the Iraqi treasury in a week, a month, or 6 months and get $8 for it, or $10, or $16.
You know what? Thought I just had. Okay. What if she could do this at Chase Bank and finally got through because Chase is not contracted to be one of the big banks for the redemption.
Mm-hmm. Well, Chase always was one of the big banks, one of the four.
Okay.
The four big ones were Chase, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, and HSBC. Those are the four.
How do we know that?
Because that's been the rumor for a decade.
Been the rumor.
Yeah, for a decade.
But
those four banks.
What if there are maybe a couple big banks that are contracted to set up these holding accounts? And what if you went into Wells Fargo and even the private bankers and everybody else says, no, you can't do this right now. We don't know what you're talking about. Maybe it's because they signed paperwork that says you will not exchange before the exchange.
Right. But obviously some trigger appears to have been pulled because I don't think this is being done Just by I don't think some local manager is just taking this into his own hands.
No, absolutely not. No.
This is part of the new policy.
Everyone of a certain level can access that screen. So private bankers, they're going to be able to access that screen. It's across the entire bank, across the entire Chase.
Right. Joe says, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, Joe says Nasara cancels most debts. By the way, we're not in that world yet. And if I take my $350,000 and pay off my place, I will still get that money back through Nasara at a future date. In the meantime, this place will be paid off and I will own it.
Right.
Which is what
I
matters.
don't care. I don't want to wait.
I'm living in this world right now, so I would exchange just enough to pay off everything in this world that I owe and have a pretty good weekend in Vegas. So,
well, yeah, like the amount of debt that I have for everything, it probably look like, if
why
I
would you
lost
not wait,
it,
Robert? Because I'm not waiting. Because if I can do this today and get enough money to pay off everything and have 500 grand left in the bank, I'm doing it because I don't trust when the rest of this is going to happen. It could be another week before the whole thing happens. It could be another month. It could be another 6 months. It could be another 4 years. If I can do this today, I'm doing it today. That's me. I've been waiting long enough. And I'm not doing the whole thing. That's why I'm not waiting. You make your own decisions.
Yeah. Well, I don't see where the RV part of it would take 4 years when we've already got these kinds of validated rates on the bank screens. It's happening, people.
Mm-hmm.
But once that happens, that's the beginning of Nasara Jasara. That kicks the whole thing off. And then you got this big rollout, okay?
And we don't know how long that's going to take either.
Well, I kind of do. Well, not the entire rollout, but I like the transition to gold is what I've got a timeline for. But who knows, Who knows? Yeah, it's always as of today, and if nobody screws it up.
Yeah.
So you could do something like this just to understand that this is a business transaction between you and that large bank, and it's going to be in fiat dollars. It's going to be in the system that we're aware of, and it's going to be the same kind of risk as keeping all your money in the bank and not at home. So be smart about it. Move things around. Maybe have 20 bank accounts. Who cares? Consolidate them all into one later. Who cares?
All right. About 1,000 of you guys in the live stream today. Thanks for being here. We certainly appreciate it. We've got lots of information to share and lots of stuff is always available. However, these live streams are taken down off of my YouTube channels, Mike Barra 3 and Mike Barra 333, almost as soon as we complete this live stream, simply to avoid the censorship of YouTube. However, you can always go to mikebarrett.blogspot.com where I put up all the shows. They're linked to the Rumble account. You can also see there's links to my books, things that you can buy there. There's all of the latest shows that we have on. Tomorrow night, we're going to do a show with Blake Wally and Dr. Brooks Agnew. Here's a link to my appearance last Wednesday on the Tony Bruno Sports Network from Radio Row at the Super Bowl. That was a thrill, loads of fun. Links to some of my lectures. There's Ancient Aliens and JFK, all kinds of cool stuff on mikebarra.blogspot.com, which I really do need to update. Also, please do not forget to visit our absolutely wonderful sponsors, the CBD Gurus, the CBDGurus.com, or you can call them at 612-412-8343. And if you slide over to the wholesale tab, slide down to Mike B Wholesale and type in the discount code, which is 5 letters, no capitals, no S. It's just ALIEN, alien, ALIEN. Let's show it. There it is, all lowercase. And hit the enter button. You can get into this week's wholesale specials over at the CBD Gurus. And this is something really cool. For any of these special Mark Z product specials this week, they're over here in the Mark Z tab. All the proceeds go to buying an all-terrain wheelchair for Mark. Now, we all hope that med beds are a thing of the future and that they're coming soon, but in between now and then, this will make Mark's mobility infinitely better. It even goes upstairs. It's a phenomenal thing, and I asked Matt and Lucas to get me in on this. So if you have any questions, call Evan at 612-816-3172. Meantime, the Mark Z all-terrain vehicle special, you get a 30-count regular gummy, a 30-count THC gummy, 7,000 peppermint oil, CBD oil. $20 from each item goes towards the all-terrain chair for Mark, and you also receive one Zim aggro check per item. That's $30 right there. This week's specials, we got the pain cream, we got the Delta 8 gummies, the weight loss support. I say combine this weight loss support with Jen's weight loss support, healing, and you do absolutely wonderful things. The immunity that is there, the pet treats, the Delta 8 gummies, all kinds of cool products for your health. And don't forget, you can also purchase Mike B formal wear, because ladies, who doesn't want a pair of pajama bottoms with my face on them, Mark Z's face, aliens, and UFOs? Everybody does. We all know that. Go pick up that stuff at the CBDgurus.com under the wholesale tab. Discount code is alien. Also, please don't forget to visit our other wonderful sponsors, MikeBarraPets.com. Mike Barra Pets, where you can pick up all kinds of super cool healing products for your cats, your dogs, your horses, and even yourself. You've got the Coriolis versicolor mushrooms, which are wonderful products for healing of all types in all sorts of animals and humans. There's deer antler powder. There's natural whole foods. If you go to the shop now button, you can shop by pet. You can go to the dogs. You can go to the cats. Under the dogs tab, you got the mush puppies. Those are wonderful. The mojos. Every dog I've given mojos to absolutely loves them. Super sauce, chicken and brown rice, dried dog foods for cats. The same kind of stuff. You've got mojo treats, which are beef liver. You've got pet treats and mushrooms, the super sauce for the kitties. It's really super cool stuff. Also for horses and for humans. You can pick up these items. There's the Enforce Coriolis Versicolor Immune Boosters. I'm taking that along with the Enforce Restore, which is for liver and pancreas support, which I need rather desperately, and lots of other cool products, including the double mini chocolate chip cookies. All I can tell you is that I decided to go on board with these folks because the mojos and the mush puppies for Barkley just made him into a demon, into a maniac. It just, the energy level is off the scale. And Jen, by the way, they would like to talk to you about sponsoring your podcasts as well. So you should talk to them. Jen, why don't you tell us what's going on over at jenniferfala.com?
Okay. Well, you can go to jenniferfala.com if you'd like to get a remote divine healing, or if you'd like a reading with me. There's a love button there for tips. And if you'd like to combine services, it does take a card. The love button takes a card. Okay, right now we have Past Life Reading up, and it is on sale for $69. I'm going to take that down soon. Everybody asked me to keep it up, but I'll leave it up for a little longer. Okay. Get it while you can, because that's a limited time stuff. I don't offer that every day. It's just hey, I'm offering this right now. Go and get it. Medical reading with a healing, a free healing after that medical reading. What this is a 30-minute reading, and I talk to Jesus head to toe, all the way down the body. Tells me anything that's going on or anything you should be aware of. People come to me for that, and they take that information back to their doctor, and they find the root of the problem. It's my strongest gift, and that's what most people come to me for. We also have other time readings where you can just ask me whatever you want. At this point in time, Susan Gretz is doing mediumship readings for me. Not for me, but instead of me. She's handling those. So if you want to talk to a loved one passed away, go and sign up with Susan Gretz. And Marcy Howell is helping me out with house cleanses and things like that. She can get to you quicker than I can. My emails and my scheduling has got pretty busy. Got quite a few. Okay. So it takes me a while to get through all of those. We still am offering the weight loss healings. Summer's coming. We're gonna have to put shorts and bathing suit on pretty soon. All right. And might be a good idea. This works like hypnosis. It's a full body healing and cleanse, and to help heal the things in your body that are in your mind that are causing you to keep this weight on. And it's like hypnosis to talk with the subconscious to stick to your plan and be productive. All right, so go to jenniferfulla.com and take advantage of these offers.
And I still would like to see somebody, maybe I should make myself the experiment if I can ever get my health in line, combining the CBD Guru's weight loss supplements with your weight loss healing and see what kind of results we get. I bet we get fantastic results out of that stuff. So that would be good.
Well, you can't take off on a weight loss plan, take a couple pills and get a weight loss healing and then decide I'm going to just like have a pizza and a tub of ice cream, and it's not going to work, right? Because in your mind, in the back.
Funny, what did I have for dinner last night?
Is that what you had for dinner?
Pizza and ice cream. Dave made me do it. He hit me and stuff.
Right. It's all Dave's fault. You have to want to do it, because what happens here is that we say, oh, well, I've got these things and it's okay that I do that and I don't stick to my plan. But in the back of your mind, it's not, and you're creating, this food's going to make me fat. Okay. So when in the weight loss healing, we talk to the subconscious and we say, be lean and clean, and tell the subconscious, tell the body what to do, and flush out the excess fat, food, and toxins, and not keep it. Okay. Part of our programming is that if you eat this, if you do that and all that other stuff, it's going to sit as fat. Do we create that? Maybe. It's worth a shot. I got a little bit when we were behind this, when you were talking about the sponsors there. I've learned to listen to people, and certain things stick out to me. Okay. When she was talking about $5,000 a day. Now, that's basically the bank's cash withdrawal policy, and that's always been that way. You go up to the counter and you want to pull out 20 grand. They're going to tell you, okay, you're going to have to come back in like a couple days and we'll have it for you, because they're not going to, they only have a certain amount of cash on hand in a bank, probably for security reasons. And they're not going to give you all of it. If you come in and say, I need $100,000 of cash, I want to go buy a motorhome or whatever, they're going to say, okay, we're going to have to order that for you. Come back in 3 days. That's what they were talking about when she was talking about $5,000 amount. I can only have $5,000 of my money at a time. That is not
right.
true.
But the key thing was it was her new funds, and she apparently walked out of there with it.
Well, you don't even have the conversation about how much you can withdraw unless you have money.
Right.
They're not going to tell you. And they said, well, you can have $5,000 a day. Well, if she can have $5,000 a day, we know she's got at least $5,000 and enough to get $5,000 a day. She exchanged. She's got money in those accounts. She got those rates. That's my take on it. I say it happened.
Normally what we would do now is go over to the Rumble people, because for the Rumble folks who are $5 a month subscribers, $5 a month, we appreciate that very much. They get to ask their questions first, but we're getting a lot of these double dipping questions. So here's my answer as I understand it. First of all, I would ask Mark Z. I would go to Mark's latest podcast and ask him that. Yes, please do hit the like button. But mostly hit the like button over on Rumble, because that's where it really matters. We're never gonna get enough on YouTube to make a difference. The answer to that is I don't know, but here's what I think. What I think is that if you don't go out and buy more currency with your exchanged currency, then you have nothing to worry about. Double dipping is when you do a currency exchange, take those funds and go buy more currency at the lower rates. That's why they want everything to happen at the same time, which apparently it's not. So I would just say don't do it. Don't get greedy. Don't buy more. Be satisfied with what you have, that it's the right amount, and let it go. The other thing is, as long as I don't use proceeds from my currency exchange with a private currency exchange with a private bank, it's not double dipping. So they're planning on not allowing double dipping. But even if you double dip, my understanding is, okay, Mike Barra, you went and you exchanged your dinar for 293. So you're stuck with that. The rest of your dinar, we're only going to give you 293. We're not going to give you the higher contract back screen rates. Okay. I can live with that. So that's what
I'd say that's probably only something that would be listed in a contract that you would have to sign, that you will say that you will not do, like an NDA to receive contract rates.
Yep.
At a bank level, I don't really think they care. They want to make money.
The bank doesn't care. The bank doesn't care. The Redemption Center Exchange might care.
But the whole idea of this whole doing it with an exchange center thing was to get the contract rates to for the bonds and for everything else, but to put it into that QFS safe account.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, if you're in dire straits and you want to do something like this, that is up to you. But I believe that it is good news that the possibility is there. Was it there before for like 13 years? No. It's happening, people. It's only a matter of time.
All right, let's slide over to Rumble and take some questions from the Rumble folks. One of the advantages of being on Rumble is that you can subscribe for $5 a month. And if you subscribe for $5 a month, you get to get your questions answered first from the Oracle herself, the potty mouth prophetess, Jennifer Falah Doreen. Tammy Joy is in here, Little Red Castle. $5 a month subscriber. Thank you. The way to subscribe, by the way, is down at the bottom of the screen. There's a subscribe button. You have to have a Rumble account. You have to have a bank card or bank account linked to it. And you have to be in the web client. It doesn't generally work on the phone, but we do appreciate that. It's the best way to support the show. Hopefully very soon, we're not going to need any support whatsoever. But for now, $5 a month is all we ask. And it really, really does help us with the show. So there's Tammy Joy is a $5 a month subscriber now. And Mark Man is now a monthly supporter, $5 a month. And Jan77 has signed up. She gets a Little Red Castle. She's a $5 a month subscriber. Oh, even more. Time Traveler, Little Red Castle, $5 a month supporter. Weezer55, Little Red Castle, $5 a month supporter. We appreciate all you guys coming in and doing that. Now, it's very important when you're asking Jen personal questions that you give us your real name, at least your real first name, and the name of the person or pet or whoever you're asking about. That's really important stuff. I Bake Me says, Jen and Mike, I hope your weekend was awesome. It was pretty awesome. The 49ers did not win, so that was good. Ray would like to know, I have a question about Patriot Rod Steele. Is he genuine, authentic in his motives and communications? I believe he is. Jen, what do you think about Patriot Rod Steele?
I don't do that. I don't come out and tell you of this truther or that truther is legitimate or not. You're gonna have to use your own instincts on that. If you're watching the guy and everything that in your instinct says run. It's up to you.
And I will tell you that I like Rod Steele. I like him, and I think he's okay. Chris Packer here, Jen. Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber. Do you see me struggling financially now that Chester is gone? And if you don't know,
I know.
Christopher's husband passed away back in December.
Oh, I know. I know. I was doing healings on him. It was
No, I didn't mean
really
you.
hard for all of us.
I meant the audience.
Um,
Yeah,
oh, okay.
just for the- it's wonderful.
No. You're going to be okay.
You're gonna be okay. Jan says, "Is it too late to ask a question?" No, it's not, Jan. I'm worried about my cat Smokey. He's been crying a lot, like maybe 6 times during the night. Last night I heard him. I took him to the vet, and they said he does not have crystals in his urinary tract. But why is he crying so much? Jan wants to know why her kitty Smokey is crying.
So tummy ache. I think he's got a hairball in there or something. He's to cough up. It's just something minor.
Okay, good. It's something minor. Seabass has this thing. It's kind of a sundowners thing where he mules really intensely in the morning, and it's kind of upsetting. But people asking about the $ under the chat subscribing. Okay. Trisha Ray, oh nope, she's also giving tech support. Thank you for the tech support, folks. Like to get your questions in. Little Red Castle. Trisha Ray says, I'm on a computer too, and that may be why I don't see the red oval box. Okay. No, computer should be good. A lot of tech support going on, Trisha Ray. Thank you. And Weezer. Joanne44 says, Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber. I would pay off for peace of mind. That's what I want too. And because under Nasara, you're supposed to get most of these funds back. And even if I don't, what a blessing. Even if I got a blessing of $900,000, I could pay off everything I owe and live debt free and be pretty happy. Joanne44, Little Red Castle says, I'm concerned about the oversight of Zim projects. Considering donating to Trump projects. It's not really a question. Joanne wants to know if we donate to Trump projects, and those are the projects that are listed at the redemption centers, do we get medbed access? Sky Prince says, yet. I don't think Jen knows that. Jen, do you know that?
Well, I could ask.
If you sign up to manage a humanitarian project.
I think it's basically if you submit to do a humanitarian project, they would like you to be okay and be able to do it.
Yeah.
So I do think that you get kind of like a ticket to ride. Now, the management and the oversight of these humanitarian projects, it is managed. You would have almost like the personal banker. You'd have a personal person. They'd say, okay, well, what do you need? First you'd wait. They're going to approve phases, groups at a time. And then they'll say, okay, well, we're going to assign you this project manager, and you will meet with your project manager to create phases of completion, and will be funded per phase. They want you to actually do it. They're not going to hand you, hundreds of millions of dollars and say, okay, well, good luck. They're not going to do that.
Yeah.
You got to prove that, I'm going to do this. And you come to them and say, okay, I got to buy the land and I got to do the improvements and we have to break ground. So I need this. Okay, phase 1. Here's money to fund phase 1. Come back to me when you're almost ready to go to phase 2. We'll sit down, we'll discuss it, we'll tweak it, and we'll fund phase 2. That's how it's going to work.
Okay. Danae, Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber, says, great news, you two. Thank you. My son Cam took a hit to his shoulder at practice on Saturday. Lots of pain. Would you please take a look and see how bad it may be? Thank you. Danae wants to know about her son Cam's shoulder and how bad his injury might be.
It's not bad. He just needs rest.
He needs rest. Paula says she just purchased a past life reading and healing. Good for you, Paula. Weezer55, Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber. Jen, my name is Lisa. When will Tom and I meet? And will he get his issues cleared up without too much difficulty? Thank you. Also, is there a safety issue or threat directed towards me? Okay, one question at a time. Lisa, when will Tom and I meet, and will he get his issues cleared up without without too much.
April.
April.
And
Okay.
no, Tom's will still have issues.
Is there a safety issue or threat directed towards me? Lisa would also like to know.
Oh, out of the ordinary, like extreme threat, no. No, I'm not picking up on anything, but you're always going to have to, just like anybody else, make your own decisions and be aware of your surroundings. But I don't see anything like nobody's stalking you or trying to kill you or anything right now. No.
Lucy, Little Red Castle, $5 on subscriber. Will we be allowed to, i.e., double dip and exchange some currency at the lower rate and then later exchange a balance at the redemption center for a higher rate? That's not double dipping. Double dipping, Lucy, is when you exchange some currency at a lower rate and then go out and buy more currency at an even lower rate, which, as I understand it, they do not want you to do. Jen, do you get anything on this double dipping thing? Is there any danger of that, of issues if you do some of your, like if I went out today and exchanged some of my dinar and some of my dong, would they cut me off from going to a redemption center later or something?
No.
Okay. Sarah here, a Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber. My husband Jeremy was having tightness pain in his chest area the other day. Do you see this as heart-related, muscle strain, or just anxiety? Jeremy. Sarah wants to know about her husband, Jeremy.
What's angina?
Angina is a heart valve problem, I think.
No, it's not that.
Tell him to go get checked. Go get
It is related to tension and stress. Okay. Yeah. It's not something really serious, but you always want to keep up with your doctor on anything like that.
Yeah.
Make sure. But just to calm your mind right now, I don't think it's anything terribly serious. No.
R. McBride says it was announced on Mark Z's channel show this morning that they've collected 40% of the required monies towards his chair. Mark is so excited. For those of you guys who don't know, Mark took a trip to the Dominican Republic this weekend for a vacation. He needed a few days off. And they broke his wheelchair. They broke it, his electric wheelchair. So he needs a new one. So Mark's excited. Well, let's put him through that. Jen, I'm Lorraine Gutierrez. Do you see me getting my driver's license this year? Thank you so much. Lorraine Gutierrez wants to know if she'll get her driver's license this year.
Yeah, I think they're just concerned about your vision. So, you might want to go and get new glasses before you go in there and take the test. But yeah.
Okay. Super DACA Pork Chop, also known as David, Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber. David here. My daughter Abby's dog Krista is very sick. Oh, I'm very sorry to hear that. Did the dog get into something like antifreeze, or is it something else?
Something else? What's the dog's name again?
Krista, Crysta.
Gotta take her in.
Take her in.
It might be something bad.
Jen, I want to know if our Jen is our neighbor Dale and son-in-law Mark. Okay. Is our neighbor Dale and his son-in-law Mark a legit threat or danger to my husband Rick and me, Kathy? So our
No,
Dale,
they're bluffing.
Okay, they're bluffing. All right. Primetime gal, Jen, please tell me what my new shoulder pain is all about. I've had rotator cuff problems, but I haven't felt them for a long time and thought my own healing was working. Thank you. It helps if we have your real name.
What is the screen name?
Primetime gal is the screen name.
You got arthritis in the shoulder.
Yeah. Rosie wants to know, will I be buying a house in Oklahoma soon?
I am not seeing that.
Okay.
You may make a different decision.
Yeah, and guys, please hit the like button on Rumble. It really does help the algorithm get us around to new people. Wolfcat, Jen, do you think that credit unions will do any exchanges? I suspect they will, from what I know, but don't go to the big banks or go to the exchange centers.
We're really looking at, I don't know what the credit. They may do some on a different level. They may be able to access those screens, but they're not going to have access to the large amounts of money to be able to put in your account. No. It's not I think you want to stick with the big boys, all right? You want to go into the big banks.
Paula says, do you see me living in my house on the beach?
Do I see her living in a house on the beach?
Yeah.
Yes, I see he's closing a sliding door and talking about we have to keep this closed because the breeze comes in. Yeah. I don't know when, but yeah.
Jan, what about trusts and financial assets through a financial advisor? Do we have to take these documents with us to our appointments? We don't know, but I would take everything you have.
I'm going to have like a bag of like everything I could possibly ever need, because that's who I am. You should have seen the diaper bag when the kids were little.
One of the things that was mentioned about the exchange lady was that they did want to see some receipts, which my response to that would be, are you kidding? I can buy this shit on eBay. But
and some people have gifted it. I think what the concern was with this lady walking in at that point in time was to verify that this wasn't some kind of scam, that this wasn't printed on the street, and this chick is coming in here. How does she know about this? Why is she asking questions? Because it's just probably the first time that it's happened.
Yeah.
I'd say if you got some receipts, if somebody gifted you everything.
Yeah.
Maybe ask for a signed note saying that it was gifted to you. But
there are gift letters. Yeah, there are gift letters that are standard that are out there.
It's currency.
Yeah.
You could have been in the country and had leftover currency.
Yeah, they don't know.
Doesn't mean you can't exchange it when you get home because you didn't purchase it from a currency retailer. I think that was just for that lady because of the situation, and they're all standing around like, well, I think we can do this. So, let's make sure, check her, see if she's got any receipts. I think it was just kind of unexpected.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't have thought to bring any to an appointment like that, but what the hell? Unless they told me ahead of time that I needed to. When and how will Biden and Harris be kicked out of office? Jen's discussed this many times. She sees the military coming into the White House and removing it. So, you want to answer? You want to elaborate on that, Jen?
Well, I did see that a long time ago, but I don't know if that was originally when they took him, I'm just going to stick, when I start double guess, I'm just going to stick what I originally got. So I originally got that Biden is removed for trying to start a world war or when he tries to start a world war. Then I got I heard almost like TV in the background of a female news anchor saying Joe Biden has been removed for failing to, and then it trailed off.
Right.
Been removed from office for failing to. So what I think happens is we got to get this RV done with, quietly. They want to get most of it off the street. It kicks the whole thing off. There's a window in order to exchange. Because when we go to gold, sorry to say, I think our value will still be the highest. Then, so I think we do the RV. I think they take them out, and we go to gold. Interchangeable there. Whatever they decide is okay.
Yeah.
You know?
She said on Frank's page she had taken pictures of her currency. Yes, I have one of those pictures. Question, Dorothy. Some people are posting if we go to redemption centers, we will then have to hire security guards for ourselves, children, and grandchildren forever. What does Jesus say? Well, I suppose if you're a billionaire, you might, to avoid kidnapping.
Well, let me tell you something. You know, parents have money, small rich, okay? You'd never know unless you went to their house. My stepfather still drives around in the same old damn truck, wears like jeans and suspenders and a Harley Davidson shirt, and has this big old scruffy beard, and you look at him and look like, oh God, you look like a street person, you know, like, and then he pulls out his wallet. So when you deal with a private banker, it's very discreet and nobody knows about it unless you tell them. Now, and if you go around start buying Maseratis and being flashy, yeah, you're going to make yourself a target. Everybody is. But if you go middle of the road, you know, upper middle class, buy things like that, if you're over around retirement age and you have a nice little sports car, they're going to say, oh, guy's retired. He finally got his car. You know, so it kind of stay within that and don't tell kids too much, because when they're young and immature, or I'm not gonna tell my kids too much because they're like early 20s and they could
they will
not
quickly.
them, it's their friends.
They will quickly decide that your money is the answer to their problems if you let them.
Or suddenly have every boy in the world wants to be with them.
Yeah. Well, nothing wrong
Come
with
over
that.
to my house and go through the safe and stuff.
Hi, Jen. This is Greta. My dog King somehow injured himself just under his right ear. Wondering if it's infected. Also wondering if his bladder stones have created pain. He's just not been himself lately. King.
I put some Neosporin on that ear. It's a little crusty. I like the color. I think we got something brewing there. Bladder stones. Jesus. I don't feel like we're out of the woods with that yet. Might want to take him in, have him check it out, take a look in there and make sure everything's cool. Not real concerned, but, probably want to monitor the whole bladder stone thing.
Yeah. Thomas Williams says you can only do the contract rate once. That's true. You're not doing a contract rate. You're doing private banking.
Okay, so that would be for when we get to the redemption centers, because you're going to sign paperwork saying that they'll say, well, do you have all your currency? Is this all you want to exchange? Because you're going to get this rate today on this contract. That's probably the whole double dipping thing.
And that's the double dipping thing. And that's why you have to sign an NDA so that you don't tell people what you actually got, which is going to be far higher than what's available to the public. You can get pretty damn rich on what's going to be available to the public. But, there's always that asshole out there. He's like, well, I got $12.5 million out of this, but I could have made $100 million if I'd have, done what this guy did. Now I'm going to sue and create all kinds of problems. That's what they don't want.
I think for me, the whole thing is that gold-backed money in the QFS Treasury account, because that can span generations. You can create a dynasty with that, leave it, hand it down. I don't think you can put money into that except for that exchange. So that's probably why they want to do one, so that you only have one treasury account. Right. Maybe that's the whole double dipping thing. When you do it through the exchange centers, that's what's kind of important to me, because otherwise, let's say if I did, I get less, but I did it with bank, I'm going to have to keep moving this around. I'm going to beneficiaries. I'm going to have to, I just feel like it's a safer bet in the long run to wait just a short period of time now and get it done that way. I don't see anything wrong with taking a little bit out of the envelope and going in there and putting yourself in a comfortable place if you're in a bad spot. But if you can afford to wait and sit back, it would be a shame if there's a short window to do this and not go in there and get something.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, personally. But we don't really know how long it's going to be. I mean, from all the evidence and everything I'm seeing, it would not have this opportunity on the bank level to do this if it hadn't started.
Yep. And
it just wouldn't exist.
What did Gabriel say? It's already started. Thursday. Sense that it started Thursday, according to the angels.
No, that's not what he said. If you're going to quote me, you got to do it. I sent you the Gmail, the Jentel. What he said when I asked about posting the IQD to the Forex, when I asked on Saturday, he said it's already happened.
It's already happened, right? Which is the only way the banks could be doing that exchange they did with that woman.
When I talked to him today, yes, her transaction was complete and money is flowing. The big day is Thursday. Rates are rising on the back screen. Now, is that the day that we find out that it's posted to the Forex? I mean, is that the big day?
Yeah, I would think.
I'm thinking that's when we get notification or the list of redemption centers goes out. And I think that's kind of what the notification is.
Yeah.
Oh, and I had another thought this weekend.
Jen's always thinking.
I do. I'm forced to sit still. So, why haven't I been spammed for wealth management? Is it because I have bank? It's over the years I ended up with bank accounts at U.S. Bank and Chase and Wells Fargo from Dad's Trust, and every time we buy some kind of vehicle, somebody else wants to sign up with another credit union, have the payment there. So I mean, I've got all these banks. Chase and U.S. Bank and Wells Fargo have been spamming me about. Well, I should check on that because I probably a little more information. Is it Wells Fargo? At least 2 of them have been spamming me to sign up with wealth management. I mean, Chase really hounded me. Okay. And I'm like, so what is this wealth you speak of? Because if it's not equity in my home, I don't know what you're talking about. And could they have received a list or purchased a list of phone numbers from participating currency dealers?
Mm-hmm.
And if I purchased with my bank card, even then, how do they know who to contact? Is it just a random thing? Anybody and your mother? No. They've got to have your email address. They've got to have your phone number. They've got to have something and know that you're involved in this kind of thing to even know that you've got wealth coming. We know that companies sell your information and somewhere you buy currency from could sell enough information to know that, yes, she has currency. Is that why they're pushing wealth management with certain people? Are there people that are not being hounded to sign up with wealth management? Don't know anything about the RV? It's a thinker. And if so, is that how we'll be notified? So what I think it was coming out, and everybody's always worried about this. Oh my God, what if I miss it? And what if I don't see this? Listen, if you are in contact with us, you're not going to miss it. Get the philosophy chat. Everybody and their mother will be posting the numbers. I think it's a list of phone numbers of participating locations. When they're ready, we'll go out everywhere. If you'd like to exchange, call this number for your area or call this routing number to get a number in your area. and they'll do exactly what that lady did, but they already know what you're calling for. Say, I'd like to make an appointment to exchange. And then they walk you through the process and tell you what to bring and ask you what you have and blah, blah, blah. We already know that part. Hi.
Say. Jen?
So anyway, with everything I'm seeing, logically, I wouldn't be seeing this stuff if it hasn't started. Okay? There would be no opportunity to go to the bank and do anything like this. There'd be no rates on the screen that high to even make a profitable exchange at a large bank outside of the RV. It's happening. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I mean, I think what they're watching the rates rise, and there's some kind of trigger spot where it's okay once the bank or behind the scenes rate gets to this much, do it.
Hi, Jen. It's Marta. Do you still see me moving to a new home this year? And is it in the country with a view?
It is in the country, but it's like mature landscaping because I'm seeing lots of vines and lots of colors and lots of grass. But over here on the side, there's lots of foliage, big trees and things. So yes.
R. Sassy, can you tell me if my brother James is going to have any problems with this cancer treatment? It would really help if we had your first name too.
That's a little bit too much information for now. Something we should talk about privately. I mean, I see him getting the treatment. I see him everything, but I do think there's a couple conversations that they have with him about how they may be switching to somebody else, or doing something else, adding something else in. So,
angina is heart pain related to blocked blood flow to the heart. It is serious. Reminds me of a terrible joke I can't say. Scott Ferguson wants to know,
I was going to say angina. It was something else. I don't know if I got that right.
Jen, do you see me living in Florida? Scott would like to know.
No, but you visit there often. I mean, it's not like a primary residence or anything. You might have something. You might have like a condo or something, but you do go there often. Mike's frozen again. So at this point in time, I'm really excited. I am. I was really excited this weekend. I'm like, okay, let's everybody calm down. Let's not get too excited. But it was like just knowing that opportunity exists to be able to go and do that. Right now, we know that it is happening. We know that would not even be there if it wasn't possible, if it wasn't happening right now. So really, we've heard like stories about really good things going on in the country, and like just for Iraq. And there was something said about the bank level pricing depends on what's going on inside that country, and that the contract rate is predetermined, like cross countries agreement. So anyway, let's see if we got any other questions because Mike has dropped off. I'm planning on doing a show tomorrow. There is a possibility for a philosophy show tomorrow that I might have to not do it. I might have to run out for a little while in the morning, but that depends on what the children tell me today, and we'll see. Otherwise, I will definitely be on Thursday and Wednesday with him. Yeah. So, any other questions? Not seeing anything. So something's going on with the stream right now. Anyway, let's talk about Jesus. Anyone wants to talk about? I'm just kidding. Oh, and he comes back right when I say that. That's
Well,
my favorite joke.
Fuck Cox Cable is all I have
Get
to say.
people cornered and talk about Jesus.
I think that's gonna.
They love that.
That's gonna wrap it up. I have one question I need to ask you. One question.
It's not gross, is it?
No, but what I want to do is show you a little clip from Tucker Carlson after his Putin interview on Wednesday or Thursday of last week. So let's go there and show it to everybody. And I want you to just watch. Ask you a question.
So we just finished our interview with Vladimir Putin. We're in an ante-room in the Kremlin, waiting for our car to come, having a cup of coffee. I'm sitting here with the folder, kind of old-fashioned, I haven't even opened it yet, of documents that Putin gave me. I've got my nighttime reading. So we just finished our interview.
Okay, so Putin gave him these documents, and he said they were historic documents showing that Ukraine has always been part of Russia. Is that what was really in that folder, or is it something much more interesting?
I don't know if I should comment on that. That was a nod to someone that cannot specifically be found to have contact with Tucker Carlson, that we've got the paperwork. That's all I'm going to say.
There we go. All right, one last question and we get out of here. Jen, if I go to Chase Bank and ask about exchange, will I be happy with the response? Good question.
If you do it right.
You do it right. Vision Dancer, Little Ray Castle, $5 a month subscriber. Jen, do you see me flying this week? It really helps if we have your real name, Vision Dancer. See if you can get anything.
What was the question? My children are texting me when I'm live on the air.
Do you see me flying this week?
Who?
Vision Dancer is all I got. You have to give us your real name. You just have to, at least your first name.
Not this week. Next.
Oh, this is interesting. David says, Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber. My mortgage loan servicing company changed last week, and on the new system, my loan is saying paid in full. Is it a paid in full RV thing or a system?
No, that's the old company.
Paid in full. Okay.
I've seen that kind of thing before. As soon as you get a new mortgage, they sell it. And then they sell it again, and it just happens all the time. But when they pay off the old, because they purchased that loan, the old one shows is paid off. They have to notify you that this one has been paid off, and then they start up the new one. And there's usually a period of time before the new one shows up.
And it's all fraud anyway, because technically you don't owe that new company any money because you never signed a loan with them. So if your loan is paid off, but you could spend years in court arguing about that. Mike should use some of his new wealth to get a real internet provider. I have a technician coming on Thursday, so to try to fix the problem. So I think it's okay, that's going to wrap it up. I will be back tomorrow for Toxically Masculine Tuesday with Dr. Brooks Agnew and TV's Blake Wally. Jen and I will be back for Tell the Truth Wednesday to hopefully follow up on some of this stuff. Jen, I have a feeling I'm going to put on some actual pants instead of sweats, and maybe a blazer, and maybe take a little bit of my currency. And I got to go to my bank anyway, and maybe I'll go to some other banks and just kind of see if they're going to do any foreign currency exchanges. Say, why are you giving me that look? What did I do? No?
No, my daughter, Faith Marie, she, there's another problem with her car, and Lucas is doing the ball bearings. He says all the bolts are stripped. And I'm like, well, of course it is, because I just put a whole bunch of money into that car. So let's
Yes, of course.
work on it in the yard.
Maybe
So,
you should take some currency
screw
around.
everything up, so I have to spend more money on it. Come on, RV, I need to buy these girls some new cars, so they don't have any problems.
All right, don't forget you can always contribute to the show through CashApp, $Mbara33 or Zelle, Mbara33 at MSN. Of course, there's the $5 a month subscriptions on Rumble. Thank you to all the new subscribers. You can find Jen over on jenniferfalah.com on YouTube, Jennifer Falah-Doring, Doering, Philosophy on Telegram, and Jennifer Falah-Doring on Telegram. You can find me on MikeBarra.blogspot.com. On Rumble, we are Real News Live. That's who you sign up for. Telegram, it's Mike Barra 33 and Mike Barra Chat on Telegram. On Instagram, I am Mike Barra 333, but that's pretty much apolitical. Mostly, I just talk about personal stuff in sports. And on Twitter, I am at Mike Barra 333. And yeah, Real News Live on Rumble. Thanks for being here. Don't forget to go to MikeBarraPets.com. Don't forget to go to the CBDGurus.com. Don't forget to go to JenniferFalah.com. Jen, any final thoughts before we head out for our Marvelous Monday?
I don't know. Go to JenniferFalah.com. I feel another car expense coming on. And that's right now.
Spider Sense is telling me that there's another car expense coming on. Jen, I'm telling you, take some dong, take some of your favorite dong, and go around to some different banks and ask to speak to the wealth manager.
I might. Somebody do it and tell me if you're successful.
Yeah.
So what we want to do is we want to walk in and say, "Can I speak with the branch manager?" And they say, "Well, they're not here right now." Can I speak with a private banker? Go to maybe a bigger branch, you know.
And
that's what I would do.
Ask them if they do a foreign currency exchange, and ask them if they can do it today, and see what happens. That's what I'm thinking about doing.
I wouldn't do it in front of everybody in the lobby.
No.
Go in there like you know what you're talking about and says, "I need to speak with a private banker," and give them the eye, and they'll be like, "Oh yes, okay, woman's got money. Let's get her in there." And you got nothing, and you just act like you know what you're doing, and you got other options too.
There you go. All right. I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Jen and I will see you back on Wednesday. Have a great one. Thanks for being here. We love you all, and let's pray this thing in because it's as close as the width